Welcome to Krishna Tales TV.
The Princess and the Frog.
Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom, there was a beautiful princess. She had everything she could wish for, but loved nothing more than playing with a shiny golden ball near a pond in the royal gardens. Every day, she would toss the ball up in the air and catch it, giggling happily as she played. One sunny day, while she was playing by the pond, the princess threw her ball a bit too high. It slipped from her hands, bounced, and rolled right into the pond. She watched in horror as her favorite toy disappeared under the water. The princess sat down by the pond and began to cry. Suddenly, a small voice croaked, "Why are you crying, dear princess?" Startled, she looked up to see a little green frog sitting on a lily pad. She was surprised that a frog could speak but answered, "I've lost my golden ball in the pond and it's my favorite toy." The frog thought for a moment and then said, "I can help you get your ball back, but you must promise to be my friend and let me live with you in the palace." The princess didn't think twice. She just wanted her ball back, so she quickly agreed. "Oh yes, I promise. Just bring me my ball." With a splash, the frog jumped into the pond, and within moments, he returned with the golden ball in his mouth. The princess was overjoyed, took the ball, and thanked the frog. But as soon as she had her ball, she forgot all about her promise and ran back to the palace, leaving the poor frog behind. That evening, as the princess was having dinner with her family, there was a knock at the palace door. When the princess opened it, there stood the little frog. She was surprised and a bit embarrassed, remembering her promise. The frog looked up at her and said, "Dear princess, I've come to be your friend as you promised." Her father, the king, noticed her hesitation and asked what was going on. The princess explained the whole story. The wise king said, "A promise is a promise, my dear. You must keep it." So, with a sigh, the princess led the frog in and set a small plate for him at the table. She was not happy about it, but the frog behaved politely and thanked her. That night, the frog asked to sleep in her room, and though she was reluctant, she remembered her promise and let him. As days passed, the frog continued to stay by her side, following her around and being a good friend. Slowly, the princess began to appreciate the frog's kindness and loyalty. She realized he was not just a frog, but a friend who kept his word. Then one day, as the princess was saying goodnight, she gently kissed the frog on his little green head. In a flash of light, the frog magically transformed into a handsome prince. The princess gasped in surprise, and the prince explained, "I was once cursed by a wicked witch to be a frog. Only a kind heart and a true friend could break the spell." The princess and the prince became the best of friends, and soon they grew to love each other. They got married and lived happily ever after, always remembering the power of friendship, kindness, and keeping promises. Moral of the story: don't judge anyone by their appearance. This story has an important message about treating everyone equally. The story of the Frog Prince helps children understand that everyone must be treated with love, no matter how they look. One's physical appearance can be misleading. People might not be how they look, and looks can be deceptive.